Hi friends, David here from Above AVL and Learn Stage Lighting, and in this video we're going to look at the ColorKey Mover Miniwash QUAD 4 Mark II. If you need a longer product name, we can probably come up with one. Let's dive in. All right, so unboxing this unit, I mean, this is the second time I've unboxed it, so it's only semi-boxed. We've got ourselves a nice little mini moving head, Omega bracket that screws on, pretty typical for this class of fixture, power cable, and a book that tells you all about the light. Okay, let's go ahead. So this is a nice little, it is tiny. I mean, this mini moving head is insanely tiny, like it is really small. So we just reviewed, I just gone over the spot, the halo spot, and you can see it's like, wow, this thing looks like a dwarf compared to the halo spot. Let's see how it compares once we power it up and are working with it. I think it's going to be a really good match for the halo spot for those smaller venues, but let's take a look. So power, and see what our DMX channel is going to be. 29. So we'll let it start up here. Once it resets, we can start working with it. So this is just 4 LEDs on it, just 4 12-watt LEDs. They're quad, so it's RGBW, I believe. Yep. So said 29 was the address, I believe. Got it in 16 channel mode, which I believe is where we want to be. This does not have the awesome ColorKey rubberized buttons that some of the fixtures do, but we're not going to hold that against it too badly. I think I bumped it while I was homing, so it didn't quite home perfect, but that's okay. So let's go ahead and it homes cables to the side by default. That seems to be what ColorKey does. That's fine by me. And let's go ahead, pan it, tilt it towards you a little bit. Pan and tilt is pretty smooth for an inexpensive little moving head. Let's go ahead and see what this guy looks like. So this is not, looking at it, a bad wash fixture out of the box. So here's what I look at in a wash fixture, both in haze or on a surface, which we'll look at in a minute. When you bring it up to full white, there's a couple things you want to look for. One is you don't want it to be totally like pink. Like a lot of the cheaper moving heads, if you bring it up to full white, you're gonna get something like this, right? Where it's this really funky pink white. That's not what you get here. It's a really pure white. Some people would be like, oh man, I want like a calibrated warm white, but at the same time, you kind of don't, because then you can't get the maximum intensity out of all the colors. Regardless, this is pretty cool. So it's a soft edge wash light. So in haze, it's not like mind-blowingly cool, but this could honestly work really well as a nice little front wash light, a moving up light, stuff like that. So let's take a look at it. Just bouncing through some colors here. First, let's actually move it, point it at our wall behind us. So you can probably see on the LED wall here, what we look for is, it's got a nice smooth field where it's brighter in the center, it's softer at the outside, but there's not like a point of light that's super bright in the middle. That often happens with cheap fixtures, but this would be an inexpensive fixture, so that's not the case. And then it goes softly to the edge, and when you do get to the edge, you don't get this weird like color fringing where you kind of see part of one color, part of another color. Like the color's consistent the whole way to the outside. Honestly, I really like what I'm seeing here. In terms of fan noise, there's a small amount, but it's really not bad. I'm gonna kick it off for a second, and then we're gonna fast forward and we're gonna see how quiet it ends up getting. So we let that run for a minute or two. This is a mini moving head. I wasn't expecting variable speed fans, and I didn't get them, and that's okay. It doesn't get any quieter, but honestly, I've got to get this close to hear it above the mover spot, the beam, and my Volx Spectra. None of them are particularly loud. Overall, it's really not bad in terms of noise level. Like, would I use this right above a church stage? Probably not, but anywhere that's got a consistent level of music, you don't mind a little noise, I would say go for it. Let's take a look at the colors that come out of this guy. First, we've got a nice red. It's probably the weakest color that's going to be typical on a fixture like this. Overall, it's not a bad red. Again, it's an inexpensive light. Green, not bad. Again, kind of alienish, not full of life. But overall, these colors aren't bad. The white is pretty neutral, and when you bring them all together, you're able to make a pretty decent, it's kind of a ghostly white. And so now I'm just going to remove blue, and I'm able to get something that both on camera and in person, going to remove a little red, no, maybe lose a little green. I'm actually getting like a pretty nice white out of this thing. Actually, I know CRI is not the end all be all, but let's measure it. All right, so this is a Sakonic C800 spectrometer. It can measure color quality, not only CRI, but TM30 as well. We're just going to shoot it real quick. And so, yeah, it's showing a CRI of 85, which honestly, for a budget fixture where I haven't even tried to tune it that well, if I look at it here, it's telling me it's honestly not bad. Like if I pull back, so yeah, it's rolling about CRI 85 at the max, which is not bad. It's telling me that if I make it a little bit cooler, and this happens a lot, honestly, I can probably game a higher number. But, instead of gaming the system to try to get a high number to boast about, I'm just going to tell you that I had a pretty nice warm white a minute ago. It looked really nice on my flesh tones. I would not hesitate to use this for like a band lighting rig at the front corners of the stage to light the band members. You know, two of these per side would be really pretty awesome in a little band lighting rig, and wouldn't be expensive, and would give you the ability to kind of light everybody on stage, to move it around, to turn them off at times. So yeah, overall, I'm really impressed with this as a mini moving head because, not only do you get all the abilities, you get the ability to have, nice movement, you've got the ability to do different colors, and be able to, just go ahead and let's just mix like a yellow here. Be able to get some really nice colors out of it. Again, not super saturated, not pro quality, but for a mini moving headlight, it's not overly loud. It is able to make a really nice, appealing looking white instead of something like really ghostly and junky. And it's really small, really compact, really lightweight, and hits a killer price point. So I'd say, yeah, for a small band rig, for a gigging band that does stuff in dark rooms, for a DJ, this is a really great option. And I often recommend washes first to people because you have the ability to smoothly transition between colors as you do with this Miniwash Quad 4 Mark II from ColorKey. So if you like that, if you thought, hey, that's cool, I enjoyed this video and this looks like a great light for me, then the only place to get it is Above AVL. Don't buy it anywhere else. Why? Because you learned this from us. And, buying stuff from us keeps us in business. So we would love to help you find everything you need, whether it's this light or anything else, for all of your lighting and also audio and LED wall needs. Anything you need in those places, just add stuff to your cart, request a quote, or shoot us a question on our contact form. Let us know about your space, send us some pictures, and we would love to look at what you're doing and give you our best options so that we can help you out, not only now, but for the decades to come, to get the audio, lighting, and video gear that you need. It's aboveavl.com. We'd love to help. Thanks so much for watching. See ya.